Hi, Ron. How are you?
Doing well, Judy. How are you?
I'm doing super well. Thanks for taking the time to interview today. And let's go ahead and get started. Ron, what is your career background? How did you get into financing?
Well, I actually started right out of university, joined a firm called Arthur Anderson,
Oh,
and worked there
wow.
for many years in the accounting and audit side. Eventually made partner there right as I was transitioning out of auditing and accounting into consulting. So I was with Anderson till the bitter end. Unfortunately, it kind of hit a bad demise, but I was able to move
Mhm.
a team of about 35 entertainment, hospitality, media, and other industry consultants to Deloitte.
Oh,
So I then
wow.
became a partner in Deloitte Consulting and was there till a client of mine hired me away.
Wow, you have a very impressive background there. And did you see yourself building a new company, or how did you come about with this vision of Critical Connection?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I worked many years helping companies
Hmm.
in a consulting role and then joined full time at Sony Pictures and was kind of responsible for transforming a lot of the back office functions there. And quickly realized that it's much more difficult to transform or make better, improve existing processes than it would be
Hmm.
if we started from scratch and did the right way to begin with. So as I was there for many years and going through the cycle of assisting the growth and change at Sony, I decided I wanted to do something different and start a company that really would focus on smaller entities, emerging entities that wanted to grow faster than they could organically. So
Hmm.
I put together, this concept of building out a platform, an ecosystem for business that would allow for that to happen. So it really was building upon all I've been doing my entire career and working in finance, accounting, and other business operations, and helping with those learnings to take them to new clients.
Wow. So it sounds like you are almost alchemizing all the knowledge, all the expertise, all the different types of disciplines into one. And can you share, Ron, a bit of what critical connection services are today?
Sure. I mean, first and foremost, we are an accelerator for businesses. So we'd like
Hmm.
to work with companies that are fully built out, but not yet of scale, and
Hmm.
help them scale faster than they could, with their internal teams. So a lot of what we do is work to set up infrastructure,
Hmm.
integrated cloud solutions through our cloud platform partners and then provide all the resources they need to operate with those systems. So everything from finance and accounting, CFO on down, or
Hmm.
whatever the client would need if they already have part of their organization built out. We do HR payroll benefits through third-party partners like TriNet and Insperity and others.
Hmm.
We provide strategic sourcing services. And then we have partners that kind of round out the complements around legal and other areas.
So, Ron, there are so many business management and CPA financial firms. How does Critical Connection distinguish itself?
Well, a lot of what we do comes through relationships that we've built over time.
Right.
So they know of us through their business partners who are
Hmm.
recommending that we come on board and help them. We also really have just a very simple filter that we want to do fun things with good people. So
Yeah.
we're very selective about the clients we work with.
Hmm.
We're at really a point where what's most important to us is helping them meet their goals and grow faster than our internal profitability. So we're very relationship oriented. We
Hmm.
become an extension of their family and team
Hmm.
and bringing the resources that they don't have or that can help them supplement the resources they have to grow fast.
Hmm. You somewhat answered my next question already, but I'm just curious if you could elaborate a little more. How do you build that kind of strong strategic partnerships and relationships with these vendors?
Well, we embed ourselves in the management team, so we're working,
Hmm.
with the CEO, COO, sometimes the CFO, and work in hand with them. So we get direction from them, but we also provide them thoughts on how to potentially change direction where
Mhm.
warranted. And we are an extension of their team. So once we're in, we grow with them. We grow
Right.
as they grow.
Got it. Can you share a bit about your culture at Critical Connection?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, as I mentioned with our clients, we really have a familial relationship with our team too.
Hmm.
We're a combination of US-based resources as well as resources based out of the Philippines. Uh,
Right.
while I was at Sony Pictures, we built out a shared services center there. And, I really grew to appreciate the work ethic, the character, and the skill sets
Hmm.
of the people in the Philippines. So we've built upon that. That may or may not be our only offshore location, but that's our primary one for now.
Right.
All the people that work with us, have certifications in their field, CPA on the finance and accounting side, and IT equivalents on the system side. So we've been able to find great resources, and we can really provide 24-hour service to our clients.
Right. And since since the landscape is so highly competitive, how do you stay agile and adaptable in this marketplace?
Well, as I mentioned before, we really try and pick the right clients to work with
Right.
and grow with them. If it's an industry that requires industry expertise that we don't
Hmm.
have, either we'll find someone that can provide that and bring them into
Hmm.
our organization, or we'll just decline working with that client because we can't really help them through our main filter, which is grow more rapidly than can on their own.
Right.
So we are very flexible, but also very, I guess, prescriptive in the types of clients we can help.
And speaking of the clients, Ron, are you specialized in one specific industry or do you have specific vertical markets that you target? Can you share that?
We don't really focus on a specific industry, although we do
Hmm.
have a good concentration within the media and entertainment space.
Right.
Uh, I guess that comes through, the relationships that I built at Sony and other studios I've worked with. Um, but we also serve high-tech entities,
Hmm.
some in advanced engineering, some in the metaverse. We have some real estate clients.
Oh, wow.
So in terms of, our industry skills, our team has a broad variety of backgrounds that they bring. And I've done quite a bit of work in the tech as well as media, entertainment, hospitality, and gaming spaces,
Hmm.
and real estate. So, we grow as our clients grow, but we also will bring in strategic hires when we see an industry need that might be emerging, and make sure that we have the skill sets to manage that. If we don't, we just will have to, kindly tell a client, a prospective client, that we can't really support them in the way that we would like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're very upfront with that. Can you share an example of a client that's in dire straits that comes to you, and how did you help them and how did you resolve their situation?
Yeah, I mean, we often get brought into an environment where the finance and accounting side has been in disarray, either due to
Right.
turnover or just lack of structured build out when they were growing, and have been unable to unfortunately close their books over many months or sometimes years. So what we'll do on that front is put together kind of a SWAT team to come in and evaluate all the
Uh-huh.
financial activity over that period of time, work with the client to ensure that we are proposing the right entries, record the entries, and then more often than not, take over the finance and accounting from that point forward. And then, since a lot of times, the underlying issues are related to lack of adequate systems, then we'll help them develop a roadmap to implement new systems to really support their vision and growth going forward. So that's kind of one example.
Hmm.
Um, we also, though, get involved with I wouldn't say just brand new startups, but startups that are in their immediate growth stage that
Right.
haven't built the foundation. And so we'll come in and supplement what team they have internally, and then
Hmm.
build a roadmap for them to have structured growth and will then also propose the systems that they would need to support that growth and help them implement and then run their operations. So, in that regard, those are kind of the smaller entities, mid-sized
Mhm.
entities that really are trying to get to the next level.
Mhm.
And it's quite exciting for us because working with those companies, brings a new challenge every day. In some
Mhm.
cases, too, we actually invest in the entities and whatever their Series A or other rounds of investment are to take a more, I guess, anchored role
Right.
in their company and also watch over our investments.
Got it. Ron, what do you see as, let's say, the top three essentials for a client to be financially sound? Or what do you see that they must have in their foundation in order to scale, in order to ramp up and accelerate?
Well, I think they need to first have a very solid and strong financial perspective.
Okay.
And not put growth ahead of profitability,
Mm-hmm.
and unless they have an ample runway through their investment capital. Second, I would try and ensure that they have a roadmap for their infrastructure that's supported by systems that work well together.
Right.
And we offer cloud-based integrated applications that we support and are supported by the cloud technology partners. So we'll work with them on that strategy. And then we'll work with them on developing the investment roadmap of what funding they need at what point in time,
Mm-hmm.
and ensure that they have that foundation. And then be very candid with them about what they're lacking in terms of elements needed for growth.
Right.
Um, Many of the companies we've worked with have great product or service offering,
Mm-hmm.
but don't necessarily have the right resources in place to market and sell that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a dilemma for them. They've got great capability, but not enough clients. So
Right.
we work with
Yeah.
third-party partners to really help them build out their sales and marketing organizations to really propel the growth and build out on their capabilities and offering.
Got it. And I'm just curious, since we're talking about this topic, when you do give these assessments to your clients, how do they receive this information? Are they very open-minded? Are they a little more hesitant? How are they receiving this information?
Typically, they're very, very open-minded.
Yeah, so they're
They
ready
kind of have the
for,
same
yeah.
objective. They want to get to a point on their vision
Mm-hmm.
as quickly as possible, but they're
Right.
struggling with some of the same issues. And it's great to have a solid pipeline, but unless
Mm-hmm.
you close that pipeline, it becomes difficult to sustain it. And
Right.
having the right teams in place,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're internal or third-party teams, to build out that growth map is really important for them.
Got it. Yeah, that makes total sense. That's why they come to you as a strategic partner, so you can help guide them in these situations. Ron, since you're the CEO, what is your leadership style?
I would say very collaborative and
Yeah.
collegial. Um, as I mentioned, we kind of feel almost like a family organization and embed
Hmm.
ourselves in the cultures of all our clients. So in order to do that, you have to be adaptable and yet still provide kind of the tough love when needed, both to our team and our clients' teams.
Right. No, that's wonderful. What do you think clients like most about your services?
Probably the flexibility,
How
number
so? Yeah.
one, in terms of coming in not with a set structure for everything, every project they need, but really with an adaptive approach that fits in with their capabilities as well as supplements their deficiencies. So that's one. Two, pricing is something that all clients are concerned with,
Yeah.
and we work with them on that. Sometimes we bill in advance when they have cash. Sometimes we defer payments, and as I mentioned, sometimes we invest in the companies. So we will adapt with them
Hmm.
for the right clients and the right opportunities.
Hmm.
So that's one. Two, I think they really appreciate the capabilities that we have in terms of systems, in terms of finance and accounting, and in terms of our partner relationships, with tax firms like Armanino and Anderson Tax, and then other legal firms and others that we work very closely with as well.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you have a full integrated solution. I mean, was this something that you had envisioned before? I know we talked a bit about it in the very beginning of the interview. Did you envision this company to be all encompassing and a full integrated solution provider?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was kind of the concept of the name Critical Connection, is that we
Oh,
were
yeah,
a connecting point to our clients, that we connect clients to software providers that we then partner with. We connect clients to other clients. We connect clients to sales and marketing opportunities, and we connect partners to other partners. So the idea was that we don't own everything. We
right.
put together the relationships that provide everything,
Yeah.
and then everyone benefits from that. So it's kind of an ecosystem for business, if you will.
Yeah, no, I love that. Actually, this is the first time I've heard the concept of what critical connection is. I love how you express that. It makes total sense. And I see why that you're kind of like the apex for everything. Ron, does critical connection leverage any current technologies like artificial intelligence or specific software?
So yes, we have quite a few software partners. Our primary finance and accounting system is NetSuite by Oracle, and we're a partner with NetSuite. But then we also offer relationships with Bill.com, which is kind of a procure to pay application. Integrate that with NetSuite. Tipalti is another one that we work with. So we have a number of different software solutions
Hmm.
that we bring to the table that all work well together. So it's not kind of ended up with a spaghetti chart of systems, but you really have an
Right,
integrated SaaS app offering that you can grow with and that grows with you.
right. Ron, how do you define excellent customer experience?
I let the customers define that. So
That's a great answer.
it's really up to them to let
Right,
us know whether we're doing well or not. Uh,
right,
we have check-ins weekly at a minimum with all of our client executive teams. Many of them are on various Zoom calls and other checkpoints that we have during the week. So
right.
we're very well connected to them, and they'll let us know when we're stumbling. They'll let us know when we're doing a great job. But we
Hmm.
make it a very formal process that we want touch points with them so we can learn and grow and adapt.
Yeah, it sounds that you have a very a very solid partnership where there's a lot of engagement, a lot of feedback, and that's nice to have rather than just like, partner and vendor or customer and provider. Um, how do you approach making tough decisions under high pressure?
Well, unfortunately, I've had a lot of experience with tough decisions under high pressure. If you
Right.
think about Anderson and unfortunately, the lead up to the final closing of the doors, that was a highly stressful time
Yeah.
where I had a team of people working with me that didn't know what the future would hold for them. So
Oh,
managing that process of putting together kind of a perspective deck of opportunities and then taking it to the other firms and to determine where we wanted to put our piece of the puzzle. We were a small component of the overall Anderson organization, and the audit team and the tax teams already had plans of where they were going to go. But we were in
right.
the kind of a niche consulting area, so we had our choice, but also had the risk of choosing the wrong
Hmm.
new company to join. So that was one. And then unfortunately at Sony, we had a cyber attack
Oh my goodness, really?
and put down the systems for many months. And so we had to deal with not only the anxiety that the employees felt about, what was going to be the outcome of this, but then the
Right.
realities of trying to stay afloat in the business. So,
Mm,
through those two processes, I really learned that, sometimes a tough decision um, gets delayed, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't. It really needs to be addressed right away, and we tackle it head on. So if that's a client decision where the client relationship's not working out, we'll make that decision, and we'll work with the client to develop a transition plan. If it's a financial situation, a client that they're not addressing quickly enough, we'll sit down with the top management team and let them know the implications of that and ways
Mhm.
to perhaps help them make the decision more quickly. So it really is, based upon, unfortunately, a few hard knocks along the way.
Yeah.
But we're not afraid to take that discussion to the right people of the client organization.
Right. Well, thanks for sharing that vast experience that you've had with the other companies. We're coming to a close of the interview. I have a few last questions for you,
Okay.
Ron. What is an aspect of your job that you enjoy the most?
I think probably it's when we see a client of ours reach
Hmm.
a milestone, a pinnacle that we participated in. So, it
Mm.
might be that, when we first started with them, all they had was the articles of incorporation and EIN, and we had to get them to day one to be able to
Oh,
start
wow.
business. And, in some instances, we've done that in an extremely accelerated way where within, 2 months, we had a total foundation built out, and they had already hired multiple people, and we had a team in place as well. So I think it's really that. It's just uh, enjoying the role we play and enjoying the client success.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it sounds like you were at the very, very beginning, like almost birthing a company and hold
Right.
their hand through the very phases to come. What is your happiest moment here at Critical Connection? I mean, you kind of shared that already, but if you'd like to elaborate more on that.
Well, I think it's probably the team we've built,
Hmm.
and the relationships that extend beyond our internal team, and kind of watching them grow with us, and
Right.
and watching their families grow with them. So we've had a number of people that we hired in and then have gotten married and have children,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
so
wow.
it's been great supporting their journey and their growth, and we hope that continues for a very long time.
Wow. And my last question for you, Ron, is do you have a message for the world? It could be a spiritual philosophy, it could be about critical connection, anything.
Oh, that's a tough question.
The toughest question of the entire interview, right?
Well, I just hope we get back to a level of sanity globally,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and that all of our families, our collective families, both our clients and yours, ours,
Hmm.
find a better path. I think we're a little bit broken right now, and I'm very hopeful though that that will change.
Wonderful. And we definitely hope for the best. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Ron. Thanks for taking the time to interview. I appreciate you. And we will see you next time.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Ron.
Bye bye.